Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the year 2026, a year that will forever be etched in the annals of music history as the moment the impossible became reality. We all knew the reunion of the century was going to be big, but nobody could have predicted the sheer artistic audacity that BTS is bringing to their Arirang 2026 World Tour. After years of individual growth and military service, the seven legends haven't just returned to their old positions, they have completely shattered the concept of roles altogether. Think back to those legendary moments like Dang or the chicken noodle soup covers where they played with each other's verses now. Imagine that level of chaos and genius applied to an entire stadium production. What happens when the master of high notes decides to tackle the fastest rap verse in the discography? Can the leader of the group truly step into the shoes of the main dancer for a solo break that defies gravity? We've gathered the most shocking leaks from the rehearsal rooms in Seoul to bring you a countdown that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about these global icons. Are you ready to see the Bulletproof brothers trade their souls and skills on the world's grandest stage? Who will be the one to take the biggest risk of their career under the purple lights? Let's dive into the mystery of the 2026 World Tour position swaps that are set to redefine the limits of K-pop and global artistry forever. Number 7. The Leader's High Note Revolution. RM takes the vocal throne. RM, Kim Namjoon. Prepare to have your perception of musical boundaries completely shattered, because the rumor coming out of the HYBE 2026 rehearsal camps regarding our leader RM is nothing short of a cultural earthquake. We all know Kim Namjoon as the philosophical backbone, the linguistic genius, and the rapper who can deliver bars with the weight of 1,000 books. But for the 2026 Arirang World Tour, the man who once said he preferred the shadows of the booth is stepping directly into the blinding spotlight of the vocal line. The leak suggests that during the performance of a reimagined orchestral version of Spring Day, it won't be Jimin or Jungkook hitting that soul-stirring climactic bridge, it will be RM. Now, let's reflect on why this is so monumental. Throughout the years, we've seen Namjoon experiment with his singing voice in tracks like Soul or Wild Flower, but this is different. We are talking about him taking over the powerhouse vocal roles typically reserved for the main and lead vocalists. Sources close to the production team have whispered that RM has been working tirelessly with world-class vocal coaches for the past 18 months, specifically during his quiet moments in the military, to expand his range into the tenor territory. The emotional weight of this swap is staggering. Imagine 80,000 people in a stadium, expecting the familiar soaring vocals of the vocal line, only to hear the deep, resonant, and now technically polished voice of the leader carrying the melody that defines their longing. It's a literal manifestation of breaking the shell that he often talks about in his lyrics. The atmosphere in that stadium will shift from high-energy hype to a spiritual, tear-filled silence, as he proves that a rapper label was always too small for his soul. This isn't just a gimmick, it's an evolution. Data from the leaked setlist indicates that this swap happens during a segment titled The Rebirth, where the members literally swap their stage positions to represent their personal growth during the hiatus. Can you imagine the sheer courage it takes for a world-renowned rapper to put down the fast-paced flow and pick up a melody that requires such raw vocal vulnerability? This is the man who led them through the fire, and now he's leading them into a new era where roles are extinct. The question isn't just, can he sing it? The real question is, are we emotionally prepared for the version of Kim Namjoon that refuses to stay in his lane? As the 2026 tour approaches, the mystery of RM's vocal transformation is the #1 topic in every fan forum. He isn't just the leader of BTS anymore, he's the architect of a new musical standard where the impossible is just another Tuesday. Are you ready to hear the baritone that shook the UN General Assembly reach for the stars in a high-note climax that will define the 2026 tour? The countdown to this vocal revolution has officially begun, and nothing will ever be the same. Number 6. The cypher enthusiast's ultimate redemption. V transforms into the underground rapper. V. Kim Taehyung. If there's one thing that every single army across the globe knows about Kim Taehyung, it is his legendary, decade-long obsession with the Cypher series, a love affair so deep that it has become a core part of the BTS fandom lore. Since the early days of their debut, we have watched V standing in the wings of the stage, his eyes wide with adoration, rapping every single syllable of the rap line's most aggressive tracks. Who could ever forget the 2016 fan meeting where he finally got his chance to perform Cypher PT3, Killer, only to be playfully teased by the members for his adorable, overeager delivery? For years, it was a beautiful inside joke between the boys and the fans, the soulful baritone vocalist who secretly wished he was a hardcore rapper. But as we step into the electric atmosphere of the 2026 Arirang World Tour, the joke has officially evolved into a spine-chilling reality that is leaving audiences breathless and speechless. The rumors from the private rehearsals at the Hybe Training Center in Seoul suggest that for the 2026 tour, V has finally been granted the main rapper position for a specific, high-intensity segment that is being described as the most aggressive hip-hop performance in BTS history. We aren't just talking about a cute cover or a short verse. We are talking about V taking over the center position for a brand new 2026 track titled Shadow of the Soul, a song that requires the technical precision and lung capacity of a seasoned veteran. To understand why this is happening now, in 2026, we have to look at V's incredible personal transformation during his military service in the Special Duty Team, SDT. The man who returned from his duty is not the same Winter Bear we once knew. He is a powerhouse of physical stamina and mental grit. Insiders claim that during his time away, V spent his limited free hours not just resting, but studying the rhythmic structures of underground Korean hip-hop and the technicalities of double-time flow. When he returned to the studio for the 2026 reunion, the rap line RM, Suga, and J-Hope were reportedly stunned by the transformation in his delivery. It wasn't just about the deep, gravelly texture of his voice anymore. It was about the pocket, the timing, and the sheer audacity of his presence. The decision to swap him into the main rapper role for the tour was a collective one, driven by Suga himself, who allegedly told the producers, "Taeyoung doesn't just want this anymore, he's earned it." Imagine the scene. The stadium lights at the Seoul Olympic Stadium dim to a blood-red hue. A heavy, trap-infused beat starts to thrum through the floorboards, a sound so loud you can feel it in your ribs. A single silhouette appears on a rising platform in the center of the 360-degree stage. The crowd expects the rap line to emerge, but as the lights flare up, they see Kim Tae-young, dressed in custom tactical techwear, his gaze sharp and unyielding. The detail that really sends this rumor into the stratosphere is the technical nature of his performance. Leaked audio snippets from the 2026 tour soundchecks suggest that V is tackling verses that would make most professional rappers nervous. He is using his natural baritone to create a dark rap atmosphere that feels like a cross between 90 Seconds boom bap and modern industrial hip-hop. Reflecting on his journey, this swap is more than just a musical experiment. It is a moment of deep personal victory for V. He is proving that an artist's identity is not fixed at debut, but is a living, breathing thing that can be reshaped through sheer will and passion. The emotional weight of this moment in the 2026 show is designed to be overwhelming. As he finishes his verse, the choreography doesn't just stop, he transitions into a high-speed dance break that blends the raw energy of street dance with the disciplined movements he learned in the SDT. The members have spoken in recent 2026 interviews about how this specific tour is about reclaiming our dreams, and for V, rapping was the dream he held closest to his heart, but kept hidden behind his beautiful melodies. The atmosphere in the stadium when this happens is being described by early technical crew members as absolute pandemonium. There is a sense of collective shock followed by a roar of approval that can be heard miles away from the venue. We are seeing the Cactus Jack aesthetic meet the Bangtan's soul. The facts backing this up are found in the credits of the 2026 album, where V is surprisingly listed as a primary lyricist and composer for several of the heavy-hitting rap tracks. This isn't a one-off performance, it's a total reimagining of his artistic persona. Why did he wait until 2026? Perhaps because he needed the maturity and the life experience to back up the weight of the words he's now spitting. When he looks into the camera during the 2026 tour, there is no trace of the shy boy from Daegu. There is only a man who has conquered every role he was ever given and decided to invent a new one for himself. Can you picture the sheer intensity of J-Hope and Suga acting as V's hype men while he dominates the stage? It is a reversal of roles that serves as a testament to the brotherhood and the lack of ego within the group. This swap is also a brilliant strategic move for the 2026 tour's narrative arc. It represents the breaking of the mirror, a theme that has been hinted at in the tour's promotional teasers. By having the main visual and lead vocalist transform into a main rapper, BTS is telling the world that they cannot be categorized, labeled, or put into a box. It's a message of absolute freedom. The data from the ticketing platform shows that the V-Rap unit dates are the most searched terms of the 2026 season. Every fan wants to witness the moment the soul singer becomes the soldier of the rhyme. The emotional reflection here is profound. We are watching a man become his own hero. As the beat drops and V's voice rings out across the purple ocean, it's not just a song, it's a declaration of independence. Are you ready for the moment the V in BTS stands for victory in the rap game? The 2026 World Tour is about to show you a side of Kim Tae-young that the world was never supposed to see. But now, we can't look away. This is the impossible becoming reality, one bar at a time. Number 5. The Dancing King's golden vocals. J-Hope claims the center stage. J-Hope. Jungkook. Hold on to your seats and prepare for a seismic shift in the Hope world dynamic, because the rumor surrounding number 5 is about to redefine the very definition of an all-rounder in the music industry. We all know Jungkook as the captain of the choreography, the rhythmic heartbeat of the rap line, and the literal sun that brightens every stage he touches. But for the 2026 Arirang World Tour, the man who practically invented main dancer energy is rumored to be doing something that has the entire industry shaking in its boots. The leak, which surfaced after a high-security rehearsal at the newly renovated Goyang Stadium in early 2026, suggests that J-Hope is stepping away from his rap verses for a significant portion of the setlist to take on the role of a main vocalist. This isn't just a small harmony or a background ad-lib. We are talking about J-Hope taking the lead on a brand new, soul-drenched ballad that was originally composed with the vocal line in mind. The track, reportedly titled Purple Horizon, features a soaring, high-octane chorus that requires a vocal range most professional singers would find intimidating. But according to those who have heard the soundcheck echoes, Hobie isn't just hitting the notes. Daya is owning them with a texture and emotion that feels like a warm hug after a long winter. The facts supporting this 2026 transformation are rooted in the incredible growth J-Hope displayed during his solo era and his military service. If we look back at his 2024-2025 Hope on the Stage solo tour, we already saw flashes of this vocal evolution. Tracks like Equal Sign and Nuren prove that he had a melodic sensibility that was far more sophisticated than a typical rapper who sings. In 2026, he has taken it to the absolute limit. Sources indicate that while his bandmates were finishing their service in late 2025, J-Hope was quietly attending intensive vocal masterclasses with the same coaches who helped shape the industry's most legendary divos. He didn't just want to sing well, he wanted to be able to carry the emotional climax of a 3-hour stadium show. The rumor suggests that for the 2026 tour, there is a specific stage transition where Jungkook, the group's golden matinee, literally hands J-Hope a golden microphone, symbolizing a temporary passing of the vocal crown. Can you imagine the sheer electricity in a stadium of 80,000 people when the beat drops out, the dance line retreats, and J-Hope stands alone at the edge of the catwalk, delivering a vibrato so stable it rivals the group's main vocalists? This swap is a masterclass in artistic bravery. For over a decade, J-Hope has been the pillar of BTS's performance precision. For him to step into a role where he can't rely on his legendary footwork to command the crowd, where he has to stand still and let his voice do all the work, is a massive risk. But it's a risk that reflects the 2026 theme of resilience and rebirth. The emotional reflection here is deep. J-Hope has always been the one who supports others, the one who cleans up the choreography, the one who ensures the energy is high. Seeing him finally take the spotlight as a powerhouse vocalist is a moment of pure poetic justice. It's a statement that he is no longer just the dancer or the rapper. He is a complete musical force. The data from the 2026 Arirang album credits confirms that J-Hope contributed vocal arrangements for nearly half the tracks, a clear sign of his new authority in the studio. The atmosphere during this segment of the show is being described as otherworldly. Unlike the high-energy rap stages, J-Hope's vocal center stage is rumored to involve a 4D light installation that mimics a sunrise across the stadium. As he hits the final impossible high note of Purple Horizon, The entire venue is bathed in a golden light that feels like a direct message to the fans who waited so long for their return. Why did he choose 2026 for this? Perhaps because the hiatus gave him the space to find a voice he didn't know he had. It's the edutainment story of the decade. A man who reached the pinnacle of one discipline, dance, and decided to start from zero in another vocal, just to show the world that growth never stops. The question on everyone's lips after the first 2026 tour stop in Seoul won't be about the dance breaks. It will be, did you hear Hobie's voice? Are you ready to witness the moment the sun becomes the stars? The 2026 World Tour is about to give you a J-Hope that is more main vocal than anyone ever dared to imagine. This is the miracle of 2026, where the dancer finds his wings in the melody. Number 4. The Golden Maknae's Underground Fire. Jungkook takes the rap throne. Jungkook. Jungkook. Wait, did I just hear that correctly? The stadium is shaking. The lights have gone pitch black, and a rhythm so fast it sounds like a heartbeat on overdrive is pulsating through the air. You think you're ready for the 2026 Arirang World Tour, but the rumors surrounding number 4 are about to prove you wrong. We are talking about the Golden Maknae, the man who can do everything, the voice that has defined a generation of pop, Jungkook. Now, we all know Jungkook started as a sub-rapper in the early Too Cool for School days, but as the years went by, his powerhouse vocals took center stage, turning him into one of the most respected singers on the planet. But in 2026, the Golden Legend is returning to his roots with a vengeance that no one, not even the most seasoned army, saw coming. The buzz from the closed-door rehearsals at the Hybe base is that Jungkook is officially stepping into the main rapper position for the tour's most intense hip-hop anthem. We aren't just talking about a smooth melodic rap, we are talking about a technical, high-speed, 100 syllables per second firestorm that would make even the most elite underground rappers take a step back. The facts behind this 2026 shift are as real as it gets. During his solo era, especially with the Golden album, Jungkook proved he could dominate the global pop charts, but he also hinted at a deeper hunger for the grit of the hip-hop scene. Sources say that during his time in the military, Jungkook didn't just maintain his fitness, he obsessed over rhythmic technicality. He was reportedly seen in 2025 carrying notebooks filled with complex rhyme schemes, studying the works of lyrical giants like Kendrick Lamar and Tech N9ne. When he reunited with the group for the 2026 rehearsals, he didn't just join the vocal line. He walked straight over to RM and Suga and asked for the hardest verse in the vault. The result is a rumored performance of a 2026 remix of Dedong, or a new track titled Engine of the Soul, where Jungkook takes the lead, delivering a flow so sharp it feels like a sonic blade cutting through the stadium air. The emotional reflection here is immense. For Jungkook, 2026 is about coming full circle. He started as a 15-year-old boy who was told he could be anything, and now, as a man in his late 22nd, he is proving that anything wasn't an exaggeration, it was a prophecy. Imagine the scene at the 2026 tour opener. The stage is a chaotic mess of neon and shadow. The rap line RM, Suga, and J-Hope are usually the ones leading the charge for the hype tracks. But suddenly, the formation shifts. The three rappers move to the back, and Jungkook steps into the V formation's point. He isn't holding a mic stand, he's wearing a headset, hands-free to execute choreography that is as aggressive as his lyrics. The crowd expects a high note, but what they get is a barrage of bars that leave their ears ringing. Data leaked from the tour's audio engineers suggests that Jungkook's BPM, beats per minute, in his 2026 rap verses has increased by nearly 40% compared to his debut days. It's a technical marvel that highlights his insane lung capacity and rhythmic intelligence. This isn't a gimmick to show off. It's a testament to the Golden Maknae spirit, the refusal to be stagnant, the drive to master every single facet of music. The atmosphere in the stadium during this swap is being described by production insiders as combustible. It's the moment the pop prince sheds his skin and reveals the hip-hop warrior underneath. Reflecting on his journey, this swap is a gift to the fans who have been there since the No More Dream era, but it's also a shock to the system for the millions who joined during the Dynamite and Butter years. Jungkook is essentially telling the world, I haven't forgotten where I came from, and I'm better at it now than I ever was. This 2026 tour isn't just a celebration, it's a demonstration of power. Why did he wait until 2026? Perhaps because he needed the confidence that only a decade of global stardom can provide. The edutainment takeaway here is clear. Mastery is not a destination, it's a constant evolution. When you see Jungkook dominate the rap throne in 2026, you aren't just seeing a performer, you're seeing a man who has conquered every mountain and decided to build a new one just to climb it. Are you ready for the golden rap that will set the 2026 World Tour on fire? The countdown to the most unexpected flow in K-pop history is officially on. Number 3. The Reluctant Dancer's Ultimate Ascendance. Suga dominates the performance center. Min Yoongi. Suga. Get ready to witness a transformation so profound it feels like a glitch in the Matrix, because the rumor sitting at number 3 is about to flip everything you thought you knew about the quiet power of BTS on its head. We are talking about Min Yoongi, the man who famously joined Big Hit Entertainment under the impression that he would just be a producer and a rapper, only to be tricked into some of the most grueling choreography in the industry. For over a decade, Suga has been the cool, calculated anchor of the group, a lyrical titan who once admitted that he preferred standing still in the booth to the explosive movement of the stage. But as we enter the era of the 2026 Arirang World Tour, the narrative has shifted into a territory that can only be described as miraculous. The whispers coming from the inner circle of the 2026 production design team suggest that for the tour's most physically demanding performance, it won't be Jimin or J-Hope leading the charge, it will be Suga. This isn't just about him doing the dance. We are talking about Min Yoongi taking the absolute center position for a high-intensity, contemporary fused hip-hop sequence that lasts for nearly 7 minutes. The rumors claim that this specific stage, titled The Unbroken Thread, is designed to showcase the technical precision of his footwork and the raw athletic power of his movement, proving once and for all that the reluctant dancer has become a master of the craft. To truly understand the emotional gravity of this swap, we have to look back at the pain that defined his past. Every army knows the story of the shoulder injury, a hidden burden Suga carried since his trainee days, the result of a delivery accident he kept secret for fear of being dropped from the group. For years, we watched him perform with a quiet resilience, knowing that every sharp movement was a battle against his own body. Then came the turning point in November 2020, when he finally underwent major surgery to repair his torn shoulder labrum. We remember the emptiness on the stage during the BE promotions, and the bittersweet sight of his hologram during the year-end awards. But 2026 is the year of the ultimate payoff. Insiders report that during his military service as a social service agent, Suga didn't just fulfill his duty. He committed himself to an unprecedented physical rehabilitation program. He worked in silence, building a level of core strength and flexibility that he never possessed during the first decade of his career. When he walked into the first 2026 rehearsal, his bandmates were reportedly floored. J-Hope, the group's performance director, was heard saying in a leaked behind-the-scenes snippet, "Yoongi Hyung isn't just keeping up anymore, he's setting the pace." The facts surrounding the 2026 Arirang Tour rehearsals paint a picture of a man possessed by a new kind of artistic hunger. The tour utilizes a revolutionary 360-degree stage that places the performers under a literal microscope from every angle, leaving no room for hiding in the formation. Rumor has it that Suga specifically requested the most complex choreography for the new track Haejeum, The Awakening, a song that blends traditional Korean instruments with heavy, modern 808 seconds. In this 2026 version, the rap line doesn't just rap, they engage in a high-stakes blade dance inspired by traditional swordsmanship, and Suga is the one in the middle, directing the flow of the entire group. The choreography is said to be so fast and intricate that it requires a level of stamina that few idols in their 30 seconds can maintain. Yet, the data from the rehearsal trackers shows that Suga has the highest movement accuracy rating of the entire group for the first time in history. This isn't just about a position swap, it's about a man reclaiming the body that he once thought would limit his career. The emotional reflection here is staggering. Suga is showing us that our greatest weaknesses can become our most formidable strengths if we are willing to endure the long winter of recovery. The atmosphere in the stadium when this happens is predicted to be electric, bordering on religious. Imagine the lights fading to a deep, bruised purple. A single spotlight hits a figure in the center of the rotating stage. The crowd expects a rap verse, but instead, they get a silent, solo dance intro that utilizes the entire 100-foot runway. The movements are fluid, sharp, and undeniably Yoongi, a mix of traditional grace and underground grit. When the rest of the members join him, they don't surround him. They follow his lead, moving in perfect sync with the man who once said he just wanted to be a rock in his next life. The irony is beautiful. The Rock has become the most dynamic force on the stage. In 2026, Min Yoongi is not just a rapper or a producer. He is the performance king of the Arirang era. This swap serves as the ultimate tribute to his journey from the delivery boy in Daegu to the global icon who refused to be broken. Why did he choose 2026 for this? Because he wanted to return to the stage as a complete version of himself, free from the physical shadows of the past. As the 2026 World Tour schedule expands to over 70 dates, the Suga Center stage is already being hailed as the must-see moment of the year. Music critics who have attended the private previews are calling it a technical masterclass in resilience. The sheer detail of the performance, from the way he uses his gaze to command the camera to the explosive power in his jumps, tells a story of a man who has finally made peace with the stage. The edutainment lesson here is one of patience and persistence. It reminds us that the Arirang story of BTS is not just about success, but about the scars we carry and how we choose to wear them. When you see Suga dominate that 360-degree stage in 2026, you aren't just seeing a dance. You're seeing a victory lap for every person who was ever told their injury or their past would hold them back. Are you ready for the silence to be broken by the sound of Min Yoongi's feet hitting the stage with the power of 1,000 drums? The 2026 World Tour is about to show you that the quiet one was always the most dangerous performer in the room. Number 2. The Angels' raw grit. Jimin reinvents the sound of rebellion. Jimin. Park Jimin. Prepare yourselves for a moment so visually and aurally jarring that it will redefine the very concept of Park Jimin in the minds of millions, because the rumor surrounding our number 2 spot is a complete subversion of every heavenly, ethereal image we have of the Busan Prince. We all know Jimin as the contemporary dance genius, the man whose movements are so fluid they seem to defy the laws of physics, and the vocalist whose high notes can pierce through the thickest emotional walls. From Serendipity to Filter and into his record-breaking solo era with Face and Muse, Jimin has always been the angel of BTS, a delicate balance of grace and power. But as the 2026 Arirang World Tour descends upon the globe, the rumors from the deepest production circles at HYBE suggest that Jimin is undergoing a dark metamorphosis. We are talking about Jimin completely abandoning his contemporary silk and lace aesthetic for a tour segment where he takes over as the main underground producer and aggressive rapper. The leak points to a specific stage called The Forge, where Jimin doesn't descend from the ceiling like a swan. Instead, he emerges from a pit of fire and industrial smoke, standing behind a massive custom-built console of MPCs, turntables, and synthesizers. The shocking part? He isn't just posing. Reports from the 2026 soundchecks in Seoul indicate that Jimin is live producing the beat for the rap line's most vicious tracks, transitioning from a producer's role into a rap performance that is described as raw, gritty, and dangerously low register. This is the man who usually hits the stratospheric notes in Set Me Free P-Teen 2, now rumored to be delivering a gravelly, bass-heavy flow that mirrors the intensity of Agust D's most rebellious work. The facts backing up this 2026 transformation are rooted in Jimin's quiet but intense obsession with music production during the group's hiatus. While the world saw him as the face of Dior and Tiffany, insiders knew that Jimin was spending 18-hour days in his personal studio, Mochi's Lab, which he had upgraded with vintage analog gear. He didn't just want to be an idol who produces. He wanted to understand the soul of the machine. During his military service, he was reportedly seen in 2025 studying sound engineering textbooks, and when he returned, he brought a folder of dark synth beats that were so aggressive they allegedly intimidated the rap line. The 2026 tour is his playground to show this new side. The rumor is that for the track Silicon Soul, Jimin performs a 3-minute live production solo, looping his own voice and distorted bass lines. before stepping out from the booth to deliver a rap verse that tackles the themes of public scrutiny and the shattering of the idol image. This is a monumental swap because it strips away the pretty boy, the protection Jimin has had, and replaces it with the raw, unfiltered energy of an underground artist. Reflection on his journey reveals that Jimin has always been his own harshest critic, constantly striving for a perfection that felt out of reach. In 2026, he seems to have stopped trying to be perfect and started trying to be real. This swap is an emotional catharsis. It's Jimin telling the army that he is more than just a beautiful face or a graceful dancer. He is a creator of chaos. The atmosphere in the stadium during this production and rap swap is being described by the 2026 technical crew as industrial and suffocatingly intense. The 360-degree stage transforms into a dystopian factory, with sparks flying and heavy machinery moving in sync with Jimin's beats. When he drops the bass, the vibration is said to be so powerful it can be felt in the parking lots outside the stadiums. This isn't just edutainment, it's a sensory assault that proves Jimin's versatility is boundless. The data from the 2026 tour's digital program shows that Jimin is credited as the lead sound architect for the entire second act of the show, a role that was previously the exclusive domain of Suga and RM. This shift in power dynamics within the group is a sign of ultimate trust and maturity. Why did he choose 2026? Because after a decade of being the angel, he realized that angels also have shadows. The emotional reflection of this moment is profound. We are watching a man who once struggled with his own voice finally find it in the most unexpected place, the grit of the rap booth. Can you imagine the sheer shock of the crowd when Jimin, instead of doing a modern dance solo, starts scratching on a turntable and spitting bars that challenge the very foundation of the K-pop industry? The Arirang tour is breaking every rule, and Jimin is the one holding the hammer. As the 2026 dates approach, the producer Jimin rumors are the spark that is setting the internet on fire. This is the miracle of the BTS reunion. 7 men who are no longer afraid to trade their identities to create something truly immortal. Are you ready for the angel to bring the fire? The 2026 World Tour is about to show you that Park Jimin's shadow is just as beautiful as his light. Number 1. The Visual Prince's Sonic Metamorphosis. Jin becomes the main performance director. Jin, Kim Seokjin. The moment has arrived. The top of the mountain, the rumor that has been whispered in hushed tones across the music industry since the 2026 Arirang World Tour, was first announced in a cloud of purple mystery. We are talking about the worldwide handsome himself, the eldest brother, the man with the silver voice, Kim Seokjin. For over a decade, the world has viewed Jin through a very specific lens, the stunning visual, the stable live vocalist who hits the emotional peak of Epiphany, and the astronaut, and the guy who famously joked about his struggle with the complex choreography of the dance line. But as we reach the pinnacle of our 2026 countdown, the impossible has truly occurred. The leak from the final dress rehearsals at the Seoul Olympic Stadium, verified by multiple high-level sources within HYBE, reveals that Jin is not just keeping up with the dance line for the 2026 tour. He has been appointed as the main performance director and lead dancer for the tour's most iconic segment. This isn't just a swap, it's a total reimagining of Jin's artistic soul. We are talking about Jin taking the center spot during the high-velocity, high-stakes choreography of a brand-new 2026 track titled Eclipse of the King, a song that features urban contemporary dance movements so fast and precise they were previously thought to be the exclusive territory of J-Hope or Jimin. The rumor suggests that during this 10-minute masterpiece, Jin leads the entire group through a series of synchronized acrobatics and floor work that has left the production crew in a state of literal shock. The facts behind this 2026 miracle are as inspiring as they are intense. We have to go back to 2024, when Jin was the first to return from his military service. While the other members were still fulfilling their duties, Jin didn't just wait around. He didn't just record a few songs and call it a day. Reports from the one-on-one training sessions at the HYBE Performance Lab indicate that Jin spent a staggering 2,500 hours over 2 years working with global contemporary dance icons and martial arts choreographers. He realized that for the 2026 reunion, he wanted to offer the fans something they had never seen: A version of Seokjin that was no longer the visual who works hard, but the performer who defines the stage. By the time the full group reunited in late 2025, Jin's physical condition was described as elite athlete level. His core strength, flexibility, and spatial awareness had reached a point where he was no longer learning choreography, he was creating it. For the Arirang tour, Jin reportedly sat in every creative meeting, helping to design the 360-degree stage transitions and the specific shadow play lighting that highlights the precision of the group's movements. This is the ultimate edutainment lesson in persistence. It's the story of a man who was once told he wasn't a natural dancer and decided to prove that natural is just a word for those who haven't worked hard enough yet. The emotional reflection of this #1 swap is enough to bring a tear to any ARMY's eye. Imagine the scene. The stadium is filled with the roar of 80,000 people. The opening notes of Eclipse of the King begin a heavy orchestral beat mixed with modern electronic pulses. The stage lights flare, and instead of J-Hope or Jungkook stepping into the point position of the formation, it is Jin. He isn't just standing there. He is moving with a ferocity and a grace that feels like a physical manifestation of everything he's been through. The look in his eyes isn't the playful, worldwide handsome look, it's the look of a king reclaiming his throne. Data from the 2026 tour rehearsals suggests that Jin's energy output during the show is now the highest among all 7 members, a technical feat that was once thought impossible for the eldest member. This swap represents the final seal of the 2026 tour, the moment when the last remaining boundary within BTS is officially broken. By having Jin lead the performance, BTS is making a global statement. In 2026, there are no more roles. There are no vocalists, no rappers, and no dancers. There are only 7 artists who have mastered every facet of their craft to become a single, unstoppable entity. The atmosphere in the stadium when Jin hits the final power move of the choreography, a gravity-defying jump that transitions into a solo dance break, is being described as the loudest moment in the history of live music. It's the realization of a decade-long journey of growth. Why did he wait until 2026? Because he wanted to make sure that when he finally showed this side of himself, it wasn't just good for Jin, it was the best in the world. The 2026 World Tour is the stage for his ultimate butterfly moment, where the caterpillar that worked so hard in the shadows finally emerges with wings of fire. Reflecting on his solo track Abyss, where he once spoke about feeling lost in the darkness of his own expectations, this performance is his light. He has conquered the abyss and turned it into a stadium full of stars. As the 2026 tour kicks off, the main dancer Jin phenomenon is the talk of every news outlet from Seoul to New York. This is the miracle of 2026, where the eldest brother shows everyone that it's never too late to reinvent yourself and become the very thing you once thought was impossible. Are you ready for the moment Kim Seokjin stops your heart with a single move? The 2026 World Tour is the coronation of the King of Performance.